Hello students, welcome back to your online classes. This is Ganga Paranwal. Today we are going to start adverbs and degrees of comparison. So let's begin. Students, an adverb modifies a verb, an adjective or another adverb. But you should also remember that an adverb is also used to qualify a preposition, a conjunction, a noun, a pronoun, and a sentence besides a verb, an adjective, and an adverb. Let's see the examples. He walks slowly. You run fast. He is very fast. I write very carefully. The kite flew exactly over my head. Fortunately, the terrorist was caught. Only Ria can do it. Students, in first sentence, slowly is an adverb because it modifies the verb walks. Next one, in second one, fast is an adverb because it modifies the verb run. Similarly, very is modifying the adjective fast. In the next one, very is modifying the adverb carefully. Fifth sentence, exactly. This adverb is modifying the preposition over. In sixth one, fortunately, is modifying the sentence the terrorist was caught. And in the last one, only is modifying the noun Ria. In this way, you can see that an adverb is a modifier. Let's see kinds of adverb. First one, adverb of time. Next, adverb of place. Next, adverb of number or frequency. Next, adverb of quantity or degree. Next, adverb of manner. Next one, adverb of reason. Next one, adverb of affirmation or negation. Next, interrogative adverb, and last, relative adverb. Students, we will see them one by one. First one is adverb of time. The adverb that expresses time is called adverb of time, such as today, tomorrow, yesterday, last day, last night, soon, recently, late, next day, daily, etc. Let's look at these sentences. She saw me yesterday. He comes here daily. Ram arrived late. You can see yesterday, daily, and late, they are adverbs of time. Next, adverb of place. The adverb that expresses place is called adverb of place, such as here, there, up, in, out, away, down, everywhere, etc. Let's look at these sentences. He was sitting here. Mr. Sharma lived there. She looked up. Here, there, and up, they are adverbs of place. Next one, adverb of number or frequency. The adverb that tells us how often or how frequently an action takes place is called an adverb of number or frequency, such as always, once, twice, thrice, again, seldom, firstly, often, rarely, secondly, etc. Let's look at these sentences. The postman called him again. We always try to do our best. Every person always makes mistakes. You can see again and always are adverbs in these sentences. Let's move further. Fourth one is adverb of quantity. The adverb that expresses the quantity, area, or extent of an adjective or an adverb is called adverb of quantity, such as to, very, quite, enough, rather, almost, entirely, nearly, etc. Let's look at these sentences. You are too careless. His mother is very tired. She is quite wrong. You can see that too, very, and quite have been used to modify careless, tired, and wrong. They are adverb of quantity. Let's see adverb of manner. Adverb of manner tells us how something happens. It is usually placed either after the main verb or after the object. For example, fast, hard, slowly, bravely, foolishly, wisely, loudly, etc. Let's look at these sentences. The horse ran fast. He works hard. They fought bravely. You can see fast, hard, bravely, they are adverbs of manner. Students, let's see adverb of reason. The adverb that expresses the sense of reason is called adverb of reason, such as hence, therefore, consequently. Let's look at these sentences. The roads were covered in ice, hence it was not safe to drive. Second one, their car was bigger and therefore more comfortable. Next, she didn't like the pudding, consequently, she threw it all away. You may see hence, therefore, and consequently are adverbs of reason. Now we'll see adverb of affirmation or negation. The adverb which expresses the sense of affirmation or negation are called adverbs of affirmation or negation, such as not, surely, certainly, indeed, yes, not at all, etc. Let's look at these sentences. She did not come after all. She is certainly alive. Surely he is right. You can see not, certainly, and surely are adverbs. Next, interrogative adverb. Students, the adverb that is used to ask a question is called interrogative adverb, such as when, where, how much, how far, why, etc. Let's look at these sentences. When will you return? Where do you live? How did you manage this? You can see when, where, and how are interrogative adverbs. Children, interrogative adverbs have their kinds. Interrogative adverbs of time, interrogative adverbs of place, interrogative adverbs of number, interrogative adverbs of manner, interrogative adverbs of quantity, interrogative adverbs of reason. Let's see next one, relative adverb. When interrogative adverbs are used to join the two sentences, they are called relative adverbs. Let's look at these sentences. This is the place where the king lived. Do you know the time when he will come? In the sentences given above, the words where and when are relative adverbs which relate the antecedents, the place and the time respectively. Therefore, the place and the time are antecedents which are explicit. Next one, position of adverbs. We will see them one by one. There are some rules I have mentioned for you. Let's see them one by one. First one, an adverb is generally used before adjectives and other adverbs, as Lata sings very sweetly. It is very hot today. Rule 2. An adverb is used after intransitive verbs, as he spoke loudly. You came late. You can see spoke and came. They are intransitive verbs and adverbs have been used after them. Rule 3. An adverb is used after transitive verb plus object, as she attacked her enemy boldly. Here, boldly has been used after her enemy. Her enemy is object and attacked is transitive verb. Rule 4. An adverb is used in the middle of an auxiliary verb and a main verb, as our publisher is highly honored. You can see that the word highly has been used between is and honored. Let's see the next one. An adverb is used in the middle of two auxiliary verbs, as he will always be happy. Always has been used between will and be. Rule 6. Adverb of manner is not used in the middle of a verb and an object, as I admitted my mistakes frankly. Students, generally we don't use adverb of manner in the middle of a verb and an object. That's why it's written at the end of the sentence. Rule 7. When a clause or many words qualify an object, adverb of manner is used in the middle of a verb and an object, as he rewarded liberally all those who had served him well. Rule 8. The word only is used just before the word it modifies. In this case, the meaning of the sentence is changed according to the position of only. As first one, only he gave me 5 rupees. It means he and nobody else gave me. He only gave me 5 rupees. What does it mean? He just gave me 5 rupees and did nothing else for me. Third one, he gave only me 5 rupees. It means he gave 5 rupees to me and to nobody else. Fourth, he gave me only 5 rupees. It means he gave me only 5 rupees and nothing more. You can see that after using only, the sentence has been changed according to its position. Let's see rule number 9. If there are 2 or more than 2 adverbs after a verb, the adverb of manner comes first, followed by adverb of place and then adverb of time, as he wrote the letter swiftly at home yesterday. Here, swiftly is adverb of manner, at home is adverb of place, and yesterday is adverb of time. Let's see formation of adverbs. Students, generally adverbs of manner is formed by adding ly in the last of adjectives. As you can see this chart, clever, I have added ly and we have found that cleverly is adverb of manner. Similarly, wise plus ly, wisely. Kind plus ly, kindly. Foolish and ly, foolishly. Quick plus ly, quickly. Beautiful plus ly, beautifully. Careful and ly, carefully. Careless and ly, carelessly. Sad plus ly, sadly. And honest plus ly, honestly. Rule 2. If y is the last letter of an adjective and y is preceded by a consonant, an adverb of manner is formed by changing y into I and adding ly. As let's see these adjectives: happy and ready. To change them into adverb of manner, this rule has been followed. You can see y has been changed into I and it's been happily and readily. Similarly, heavily and unhappily. Rule 3. If le is the last letter of an adjective, an adverb of manner is formed by removing e and adding y. Let's see. Adjective is single and adverb of manner is singly. E has been removed and y has been added. Double, same condition is here as well. Let's see degrees of comparison. Students, adverbs have also 3 degrees of comparison like adjectives: positive degree, comparative degree and superlative degree. Rules for changing the adverb of positive degree into the adverb of comparative degree and superlative degree. Let's see first rule. Generally we add er or er and est to the last of the adverb of positive degree for changing into the adverb of comparative degree and superlative degree respectively. You can see first er has been added for comparative degree, faster, and est has been added for superlative degree, fastest. Harder, hardest. Similarly, longer, longest, and sooner, soonest. Rule 2. If ly is in the last of the adverb of positive degree, we add more and most to the head of the adverb of positive degree for changing into the adverb of comparative degree and superlative degree respectively. You can see swiftly, more swiftly, most swiftly, skillfully, more skillfully, most skillfully. Rule 3. The comparative degree and superlative degree forms of some adverbs of positive degree are different. For example, badly, its comparative degree is worse and superlative degree is worst. Well, its comparative degree is better and superlative degree is best. Ill, its comparative degree is worse and superlative degree is worst. Next one, much. Its comparative degree more, superlative degree most. Little, comparative degree less, superlative degree least. Near, comparative degree nearer, superlative degree nearest. Now students, we have finished this chapter. I hope students you have understood the chapter. Thank you so much. Have a great day.